Good morning, class.
Good morning.
So, today we are going to be focusing on short stories and narratives. So who would like to read that first standard for me? Go ahead, Arizona.
Determine the meaning of words and phrases as they are used in today's text, including figurative and
Connotative.
connotative meanings. Analyze the impact of a specific word choice on meaning and tone.
So we are going to determine the meaning of words from context clues around in the text, and we're going to figure out how those words affect the meaning and the tone of the text. Who would like to read that second one? Let's go with Logan.
Demonstrate command of the conventions of standard English capitalization, punctuation, and spelling and writing. Use punctuation to set off non-restricted
Parenthetical, that means like a quote.
parenthetical elements.
So, we should be doing that in everything we do in this class. When you're having a writing assignment or anything, don't use text lingo, guys. I've noticed that some people will write U instead of YOU, or you'll write for the number instead of FOR. So just try to keep that in mind. I know you don't do it on purpose, but just try to use correct English grammar, punctuation, and spelling. And who would like to read that last one for me? Let's go with Talon.
Describe how a particular story or drama's plot unfolds in a series of episodes, as well as how the characters respond or change as the plot moves towards a resolution.
Perfect, thank you. So we're going to be able to describe how a story's plot unfolds and track it, and we're going to be able to look at the characters and see how they change and respond to the events of the plot. So I have a video for us to watch to begin today that I hope you guys will like. Actually, first, could someone read the learning targets for me? Yes, ma'am.
I can complete a plot map for a short story. I can write a narrative response to a prompt, and I can identify the theme of the story.
All things y'all have covered before, right? Pretty simple. So, should be a nice little review. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, of course you can. You can move up like in front of Isaac or in that other desk if you would like. And will you hit the lights for me, please, Ms. Perry? Thank you. All right, then let's begin with a
Head Start knows a happy belly starts with good digestion. Natural balanced limited ingredient diets is single source animal
So
protein
everyone
is
pay
great
attention
free,
to the
like
story
sweet potato and venison
and think
formulas
about
from PetSmart.
how
Save $5
you would
on
plot
large
out
natural balanced limited
the
ingredient diet bags.
events of the story and try to trace those things. And we'll talk about it right afterwards.
Hi kids, I'm your librarian, Miss Booksy. It's cool school story time. Everybody gather around. Everybody ready? I said, is everybody ready? Okay then. Oh, wait, where's that book? Oh, here we are. Today's story is Little Red Riding Hood. It worked. Okay, once upon a time, a little girl named Little Red Riding Hood, that's me, was packing a nice dinner to take to her grandma's house. My grandma was sick, and even though I had to walk a mile, I was ready to help my grandma because that's what good kids do, right? I packed up a sweet dinner, liver and onions and peas. Oh, you don't like that? Okay then, fruit roll-ups, some pizza, ice cream, and 4 Twinkies. Okay, good choices. Now, there's only one good way to get to Grandma's. It's right through the scariest forest you can imagine.
That's not scary.
Oh, my bad. Better? Good. Whoa, but then someone or something snatched my red hood. Oh, it snatched my basket of delicious snacks. I've been robbed. Kids, robbed by a wolf. I said a wolf. And the wolf was wearing my red hood. That's a little girl's hood. He could stretch it out, the darn wolf. And he just looked silly, too. Then he spoke.
What is a little girl like you doing all by herself in the woods like this?
Going to my grandma's house, if it's any of your business. And it's not, So please, give me back my stuff.
Aren't you a sassy lassie? Maybe I will go to your grandmother's house and eat her. What do you think about that? Put some sauce on her, maybe some ketchup or mayonnaise, I don't know.
Oh, no, you won't. You're not putting mayonnaise on my grandma. I yelled, and I kicked, but the wolf ran off. And wolves can run pretty fast, even when they're wearing little girl's red coat that doesn't fit quite right. I had to get to Grandma's, and fast. There was a dangerous wolf in the woods, so I ran. Run faster. Okay. We're here at Grandma's house. Let me in, Grandma. There's a dang wolf outside in the woods, and he's stealing little girls' clothes and parading around, and this time, he's wearing my grandma's nightgown and sleeping cap. He even had on a pair of her high heels. And he was licking his paws, just like he'd eaten a snack. Or maybe, my grandma, what can I do? He's a wolf. But I had an idea. It was a good idea. I ran, and I ran, and ran, and ran, and ran, and ran really, really fast. Okay. Like a cheetah? What's that sound? It's like a click, 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 click. Is that the... And he's still wearing my grandma's high heels. And you'll understand one day, it's impossible to run in high heels. Then, right there, with his twisted ankle and his belly full of my grandma, he started to get sick. It was really gross. The big bad wolf threw up. He threw up all over the place. He threw up my grandma. But don't worry, she was fine, not a scratch. He threw up all the fruit roll-ups and the ice cream and the pizza and the Twinkies.
I don't feel so good.
It was gross. But it gave me and Grandma time to get away. We called the police and the firemen and animal control, Dog the bounty hunter, and everybody we could think of. And I'm happy to tell you the wolf was caught and sold to the circus. And now, every year since, Grandma and I go to the circus when it comes to town just to laugh at the big bad wolf. He doesn't know any tricks or anything, but it's just funny to see a big old wolf wearing high heels. The end. Okay, kids, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for coming to visit me, but please come back to the library because I just love telling you guys stories. Bye!
Bye!
Perfect. All right, if you could go ahead and get the lights for me, Akira.
I got it.
All right, awesome. So that was a good little version of a story I think everyone has heard before in their lives. Good take. But if we're looking at the parts and the elements of a story, what is the beginning part of a story called? Where everything's explained. Yes, ma'am, Tal, you think you know? Exposition, perfect. So the plot of a story is a lot like climbing up a mountain. So the exposition is going to be down here. That's where we're at base camp. We're getting all of our gear together. We're packing our backpacks, make sure we've got sleeping bags, food, everything we're going to need. So what else happens in the exposition of the story? What are we introduced to? Yes, ma'am, Lexi?
The characters.
The characters, yes, ma'am. We're going to be introduced to the characters, who they are, what their main problems are, and what else is in the exposition? Does anyone know?
The setting.
Yes, the setting. Perfect. So, who would like to come up here and write down what is introduced in the exposition of that Little Red Riding thing? Right?
Wait, what?
Would you come up here, and this is going to be where the exposition is. Will you write down what's introduced in that Little Red Riding Hood video? What characters are we introduced to? What is the setting?
The woods?
Yeah, the scary woods, remember? It's not just the normal out and about bright day woods. You can just like write it, just right there. happens after the exposition? And you just write grand mall and their neighbors. Yes, sir. Beginning of the conflict. There's a certain term for that when the conflict begins. Does anyone know? Yes, ma'am.
Rising action.
Yeah, no, right, yeah. Rising action? Yes, ma'am. That is perfect. So, everyone looking at this plot map right here, in 1 second. We got the exposition? That's fine. That's perfect right now. Yes, ma'am. Everyone see this point right here where it goes from flat until it starts to incline? That's going to be the beginning of the conflict and the rising action. So who can think of the rising action in the Little Red Riding Hood? Right, you can pick someone to come up here and write up there. We're going to have them write the rising action right there. So rising action, conflict is getting introduced. It's going to be starting developing and starting to see the problems occur in the story. What do you think the rising action is?
When the wolf took off.
Yes, when the wolf approaches her in the woods, takes her hood, takes her food, and says, "What's a little girl like you doing in the woods? What are you doing out here?" Perfect. So that is the beginning of the conflict. We see things start to take a turn for the worse, maybe. Awesome. So we have exposition, rising action. Yeah, you could write that for me. If you could write exposition, just something that would be perfect. What happens after the rising action? Let's go with Arizona. What do you think, Arizona?
When she gets to her grandma's house and she finds out that the wolf ate her grandma.
Yes, and what is that called if it's the most intense part of the story? It's all right. I know you haven't reviewed this in a long time. Anybody know, Talon?
Climax.
The climax, yeah. So the climax is going to be at the top of the mountain. That's where everything is at the most heightened point. It's at the most intense point of the story. So, who would like to come right up to the climax of this? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Perry, would you like to? Go ahead and write the climax. What do you think the climax is? I would say that's more part, it's of the rising action. The climax is going to be, does anyone else have been now of that last story? Yes, sir? No, that's still on the rising action. Think about the most intense part of it. Yes, sir, Brandon?
When they catch the wolf?
Yes, when the wolf throws up the grandma, throws up all the food. Yes, perfect. So, after the climax comes, does anyone know? Yes, ma'am.
The falling action.
The falling action, perfect, perfect. So that's going to be, the conflict starts to be wrapped up, things start to kind of summarize and come together. Oh, it's fine. It happens to the best of us. So who thinks they know the falling actions that occur in this story? Brayden?
When the wolf is put into the circus?
I would say that might be after the falling action. Or there's something that occurs right after he throws up that I would think starts to wrap it up.
When they call the people.
Yeah, they call the police, the fire department, the
Animal
dog, the bounty hunter, yep.
Animal.
Animal control, everything. So, Keisha, come write that up there for me. Perfect. So you can see the conflicts start to be resolved there. Everything's starting to come together and whatnot. And the falling action leads to the resolution. How would you describe the resolution? The happy ending, yes, sir, yes, sir. What? You want to add something to that?
It was when he got put in the circus.
Yes, perfect, perfect. So, the resolution of this story is the big bad wolf gets sent away to the circus, and Little Red Riding Hood and their grandma get to go visit and mock him and make fun of him as he has to dress up and be in the circus.
The police, the firemen.
Dog's got it. I mean, you can just hit that. You can put a cetera there, you know. All right, and Logan, if you will come up when she was done and write the resolution on there for me. So when we're talking about characters, who would be the protagonist of this story? Yes, ma'am. Little Red Riding Hood. Could you try to describe what you think protagonist is for me?
Like the person, well, it can be the hero of the story or the difference.
Yeah, the main character, kind of who the story's about, usually. And who is the antagonist? Yes, ma'am, Lexi.
The big bad wolf.
Big Bad Wolf. What do you think? How would you describe the antagonist?
The one trying to defeat.
Perfect, perfect, yeah. One who's kind of against the protagonist, kind of clashing against him. Usually going to be involved in conflict that way. So perfect. Really good job, guys. I'm impressed with how much you guys have remembered as I kicked the desk out of the way. Thank you very much. Circus, C-I-R-C-U-S. Awesome. So if everyone could pull up their laptops that they have in front of them. We're going to play a quick little review game now that we've gone through the elements of the story again. So if everyone could go to that tiny URL right there, it's going to be tinyurl.com/story/. It's going to take you to a Quizlet on the elements of a story. You're all going to play the scatter game. I want everyone to try 3 times and record. When you have your fastest time, show me, and we're going to see if you can compete and be the fastest one in the class. How about that? Sound good? But you guys show me the time so I know. Verify and stuff. Yes, ma'am. It shouldn't make you log in. If anyone has any trouble trying to locate the URL or anything, let me know.
Tiny URL?
Yeah, tinyurl.com/story/.
It says we're not down.
Put in.
But never mind.
Got it? Perfect. And then we're going to be doing the scatter game on the quiz. It's like the scatter game.
You want point to stop recording? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I typed up the wrong thing, and when I tried to backspace, when I tried to click out it, it didn't work. Well,
Got it from there? Yes,
I
ma'am.
got 20.
20 seconds? All right, so 20 seconds is now the time to beat. 20.1 seconds is now the time to beat, guys. So if you beat that, let me know. And I will come and record it for you. And maybe the winner will get a nice piece of candy. Make sure that you're taking your time to review these terms, though, and look at the definitions and make sure you know them. Because it could be really important really soon that you know these terms and definitions, guys.
I got 46.2.
Gotta beat 20.1 to be the winner.
One time I got 22.
I think the winner in the last class was 17.4.
I'm in third place on the thing,
That's what was yours, Darren?
26.1.
26.
I'm on second, 22.4. I got 20.
It better not start.
20 seconds flat.
20.6.
20.7. Sure, hers was 0.1, so she's still ahead. Close though, very, very
It's
close.
not going. It's going. Does this one count because...
This is like free.
Oh my goodness.
Yours freezing up, Brayden? That work? So if it freezes up while you're doing it, you can just go ahead.
Oh my God.
Very nice. Keep going, try to get it better, try to get it faster.
Ding, ding, ding.
this is taking way too long, so
Not pull it up?
Oh, I got 24. I got 18.4. Dang it!
Who just said 18.4. Oh, wow.
24.2.
Very good. That's really good too. That's faster than I was getting last time when I was playing it. So yeah, 18.4 now. And just verify. Yeah. Awesome job. Awesome job. So 18.4 is the time to beat, guys. 18.4.
Dang it, I didn't even beat my It's freezing. Shh.
I think sometimes the Wi-Fi gets a little overwhelmed with everybody on it.
Yeah.
Alright, I got a solid 40 seconds.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Really under a minute to do the terms is pretty good.
What's it change?
I'm gonna use the mouse from now on.
Yeah, I think last one was work a little bit
Oh, you
easier.
know what? Never mind. It actually just froze, so.
Poison. Poison.
Maybe some.
After you've done your 3, the top score is 18.4, which is super fast. What you get?
Oh my
Ooh,
goodness.
23. You're going fast too. Good job.
What?
18.4 was the time. Oh, nice. After your third time, you can go and look at the flashcards of the same terms. I might go and review them, just make sure I know all of them real quick.
We can't do it more than 3 times.
Just do it 3 times for now. Especially you since you're the leader. Alright, about 1 more minute, guys, so make sure you really looked over those terms and feel comfortable with them. And then, once you finish up your last game, you can go ahead. If you beat 18.4, show me the score. But after that, you can just go ahead and log off your laptops and show them for me.
Oh, darn.
What was your best time, Talon? Sarah? It was pretty good. I did it like 3 or 4 times last night, and I think my top one was like 32, 33 seconds. So beat me.
29. Huh? 29. It just froze.
I love this
Alright guys, start wrapping up the last scatter game that you're on. Or if you're on the flashcards, go ahead and exit out and log off and shut the laptops for me, please. There you go. Does everyone feel like these terms are pretty easy? Reviewed them earlier in the year, kind of know what's going on with the elements of the story? Feel pretty comfortable? Awesome, awesome, great. Alright, so I told you it was going to be important that you looked over them and realized them. So I got a short little pop quiz for you over the elements of the story I'm going to pass out. You can begin it whenever you get your paper. Everyone can just be silent while the quizzes are out, please. It's over the same terms and definitions you'll just covering on the Quizlet game. I think our winner is your 18.4, so go ahead and select your piece of candy. What's left anyway? Yes, ma'am. Here? Yeah, you can go back to your seat. Thank you for asking. We're going to take about 5. There you go, man. About 5-10 minutes to complete this. Should be pretty easy. It's going to be matching, multiple choice, and true-false questions. so I can make sure that everyone has really comprehended and got this and understands these elements of the story. Did you get one? Whenever you are finished, just raise your hand. I will come collect it for you. I'll grade those tonight so you can let you guys see how you did tomorrow. Yes, ma'am. If you see a question that you're not really sure on, just do your best, and I'll take that into account when I'm grading it as well. Remember, one of our standards is looking at different words and figuring out their meanings and connotations by what's around them and stuff, so try to do that. Everybody make sure you got your names on them too, please. Hate to give someone a 0 when they deserve full credit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When you're done, you can read an AR book, or you can go back on the Quizlet and maybe play that scatter or the flashcards again, and just until everyone's done, and then we'll move on. Thank you, man. Thank you. Raise your hand and describe. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, guys. Thank you, sir. No, hers was a little bit faster. That was really fast. Anything under 20 seconds is extremely fast. You guys know in terms of definitions to do it that fast, I feel like.
How much is that 12 seconds?
Which you can show us, so. I was almost at 0
I'm
seconds.
gonna come around and put a little article on there. You can just leave it face down for that. That's all you need to do. Wow, nice. Very fast. So those terms should be no problem with the milestones for y'all. Sure. left is. Still working on that. Go ahead and start to wrap it up. Finish it up for me.
She got 15.
Got 15? Oh, we got a new winner now. Alright, does anyone else have a quiz out still? Perfect. If you guys can go ahead and log off the Quizlet game, the laptops, and show them for me. Just give your attention up front, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, everybody. So if you'll pick up the worksheet I just passed out to you. This is a fictional narrative. Oh, I'm sorry. Olsen. Oh, here. So this is a fictional narrative that is incomplete. The ending is missing off of it. So let's go ahead and read through this together. Who wants to read that first sentence and paragraph for me? Brady, you can read it for me.
Brady slung his backpack over his shoulders and slammed the door of the car shut. This is going to be a really long week, he said to no one. He looked around at the campfire. Wood green fir trees, some as tall as church spires, covered the mountainside. It was nearly 8:30. The sun would be setting soon. Then Brady thought maybe the heat wouldn't feel like a coat. Even up here in the mountains, the hot stickiness of July comes in.
Perfect. So what are we introduced to in that paragraph of the story? Yes, ma'am? Settings? Yeah, we're reached the setting where we know we are in the woods at a campground. It's middle of the summer. It's super hot and sticky. Y'all know how it's very hot and humid, how sticky it gets out here in South Florida. So imagine that you're out there camping. You know we meet. Who else? Brady, yeah, we meet our protagonist, Brady. Perfect. So who'd like to read that second paragraph? Go ahead, Kathy.
Brady hated camping, but it was something his family insisted on every summer. His father liked cooking over an open fire, telling stories about how to survive things like attacks from swarms or bees. His mother and Jared liked to hike and take pictures of animals. Jared was his 17-year-old brother. He had a collection of bug pictures that he taped to the walls in his half of their home. Bugs on leaves, bugs on tree trunks, bugs crawling on in dirt. Brady thought they were just playing creepy innocent and proved that Jared was real.
Great job. So, who else are we introduced to in that paragraph? Arizona. Yeah, his 7-year-old brother, and Jared, his brother, is the only one that they're giving name to. And we're also given some more background information about the family and their camping trip and what they do. So who would like to read that third paragraph for me? Let's go with Danny.
They set up camp, 2 tents, one for his parents and one for his secretary, while everyone else got busy setting out cooking tools. Grady set off to check out the nearest stream. He was supposed to be deep enough to swim in the places.
So again, we're still going on the exposition there. We're figuring out about the stream and what he's doing out there. And that last paragraph, if you could have Lexi read it for me.
As he neared the street of the paradise, there was a little cloth barefoot and fountain, and I wanted to kiss the top, but thinking before he danced it out. Brady grew closer to the river, he ready his coat and left them behind. He remembered that cup could not be mine. He looked at that.
So, we definitely have the rising action and introduction to the conflict there. What is the conflict in this text? Yes. Little Brady's just hanging out, camping with his family, and he sees a cute little black bear cub. Oh, that's adorable. I'll go there and see it. Turns around and boom! There's a big, giant black bear, mama bear out there. And I don't know if y'all know anything about bears, but you might think your parents are protective, but bears are very, very territorial and very protective of their young. So, we get introduced to the conflict there and it sets up. Now you guys are going to go through and you're going to write an ending to that narrative. So, what you have to include in there is you need to have a climax. We need a climax where all the conflict is coming to a boiling point. It's the most tense one starting. We need a falling action when things start to be summed up. And then we need a resolution where everything's wrapped up with nice with a bow on it and the ending is nice and fulfilled, alright? I'm going to also need you guys to use proper and correct spelling, grammar, and punctuation to your best ability. And for you guys, I would like at least, you need multiple paragraphs for this. Minimum of 2 paragraphs. You can go as long as you want. You can be as creative as you would like to be with what happens in the narrative and where the events go. But you have to include a climax, falling action, and a resolution. And once you've written your narrative, if you can go back in the margins and label each section, climax, where you have the climax, rising, your falling actions, label that, and then your resolution so I can see exactly where it is in the story. And then after we've had some time to write them, we can come back together and we'll have some time to share. If anyone wants to share their story, share. Yes, ma'am. I'll hand out a sheet of paper, some paper for you guys if you don't have any. Yeah, do it on some blank notebook paper for me. Somebody take these up.
Yeah, I mean,